Vinicius Jr. is having big problems with the national team. He hasn't scored in the last 6 matches, missed a penalty in the game against Venezuela, and got caught up in a major scandal with the referee. At home, meaning in Madrid, he's facing some not so great news. It seems that some people in the club want to get rid of the Brazilian. So what's really going on? We'll discuss everything further in this episode, so stick around until the end. In Madrid, they still haven't decided if they will buy anyone in January. There are no ready options on the market. Perez doesn't want to spend money, and he needs time to evaluate the young players. Meanwhile, Carlo is asking to buy players because the squad issues are obvious. We know that Carlo doesn't trust young players, and he insists that they aren't ready for Champions League matches. He is strongly requesting to buy experienced defender Laporte, who fits his needs. But for Laporte, you need to pay the football club Al Nassr around 30 million euros, and he also has a high salary. This is where the difficulty lies. Meanwhile, our legend Ramos, who has reached out to the club multiple times, has already been turned down. Every time, he received a no response. At the same time, Ramos is willing to play for free, and this raises a question for me. Does Madrid need Ramos for these 6 months or a little longer? Or is he not needed? He can play for free, he has great experience, and he could help the locker room. Or will he, on the contrary, ruin the locker room? Please share your opinion in the comments. Things aren't going very well in our locker room as it is. There are already enough problems piling up. For example, Carlo, according to the latest information, believes that the high number of injuries is due to Pintus's outdated training methods. This season, 17 players have already been injured, and some have had relapses. Do you remember that phrase from Jude? He loves to kill us. This concerns Pintus and his training of players, which apparently leads to injuries, but I'm not sure about that. Well, let's now see in what condition the players who are on national duty will return to Madrid. Let's be happy for Brahim Diaz right away because he's back in fantastic shape. He scored 2 goals in 3 minutes for the Moroccan national team. Morocco defeated Gabon 5-1, and Brahim Diaz is doing great. However, there are reports that Milan wants to bring him in January. And this information could be concerning for us because Brahim isn't winning the conference in Madrid's attacking line. There are too many players. Brahim wants to play. He has already played in Milan, and he might consider this offer. I wouldn't want that because we have a tough, long season. Brahim is a quality player who will get his minutes and is especially good when he comes off the bench and scores. Brahim should stay. We are keeping a close eye on transfers. The feed is very current and great in the app for Madrid fans. Download it so you don't miss anything. The link is in the description of this video. Meanwhile, Mbappe has been performing like this for the French national team. It's funny, of course, but seriously, Mbappe really needs a break. I've said this many times, and here's confirmation from the head coach of the French national team, Deschamps. He wanted to come, but I think it's better for him not to be selected for the squad right now. Everyone can go through a tough time. There are both physical and psychological aspects to consider. I've said 1,000 times on the channel that Mbappe's missed chances aren't because he's playing poorly, but because he's psychologically unstable. He's not ready to play football. And here are more words from Deschamps. I don't know if Mbappe is suffering from depression, but it's clear that mental health affects any player's game. Now, let's take a look at a sweet moment that happened with Guler. It was in the stands of the venue. He met a young fan, unexpectedly hugged the kid, and whispered the following words in his ear. "Why aren't you responding to my messages?" Of course, Arda was taken aback, and it's unknown and very interesting what Guler replied to such a question from the young fan. Nevertheless, let's note that Guler consistently takes the field for the Turkish national team, plays a lot, and even though the match ended 0-0, Guler was one of the best on the field. In the game against Wales, the words of the head coach of the Turkish national team are like a gentle reproach to Carlo, who isn't giving Guler a spot in the Madrid lineup. It's very hard to take Guler off the field. You never want to substitute him. He's a magnificent, fast player. So, who do we have here that's so cheerful? It's the best player of the match, Jude Bellingham. The best player of the England-Ireland match, Jude, provided 2 assists, earned a penalty, and feels happy. England crushed Ireland with a score of 5-0. Jude has already accumulated 105 points, including goals and assists, and he's only 21 years old. A fantastic achievement. Now he is returning to Madrid. We know that in Madrid he is unhappy with his role. He wants to play closer to the attack, but right now, he has to defend more and more. I don't know how Carlo will handle this, but he needs to figure it out very soon. For example, in the upcoming match in La Liga, this weekend, I've already placed a bet on a confident Madrid victory. I have no doubt that we will be fine. We have a good squad to tackle the task, and we definitely need to win. The promo code you see on your screens will triple your starting deposit. It's amazing. You'll find the link in the pinned comment. And now we've reached the most grand insider info from the club. Many people, including Florentino Perez's son, insist on selling Vinny Jr. Let me remind you that they recently wanted to extend the contract with the Brazilian, which isn't ending anytime soon, but nonetheless is coming to an end. Vini Jr. didn't win the Ballon d'Or. He's very upset, but he's also highly motivated. We've already talked about how Vini Jr., with that kind of anger, will definitely help Madrid, but there are factors working against the Brazilian. First, there was the coronavirus. Second, there was the renovation of the Bernabeu. Third, Madrid needs money. Moreover, the most important factor working against the Brazilian is that Kylian Mbappe is becoming an untouchable player in Madrid. This needs to be accepted as a fact. We're betting on Mbappe is comfortable in the position where Vini Jr. plays. Vini Jr. might end up being surplus here, but he will bring a lot of money to Madrid. This transfer is quite likely. It's no joke. Moreover, many influential people within the club are lobbying for this transfer, and it's possible that Perez will lean towards this sale. So I wouldn't be surprised if this transfer happens. Of course, I wouldn't want such a great player to leave Madrid, but I understand all the circumstances. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. In what situation we find ourselves and what will happen if we sell Vinicius Jr., how fair that would be. Meanwhile, Vinicius Jr. has big problems with the national team. He missed a penalty in the match against Venezuela, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Vinicius Jr. hasn't scored for the national team in 6 consecutive matches, and he also missed several good chances and completely lost it. When he confronted the referee, I won't even say what Vinicius Jr. said. You can read it on the screen. But honestly, I'm so tired of Vinicius Jr.'s outbursts, his constant arguments with the referee, with fans, with opponents, with anyone. When will he finally calm down? It really has gotten on my nerves. I read the comments about what people think regarding Vinicius Jr.'s behavior, and many agree with me. Vinicius Jr. insulted the assistant referee, and Rafinha had to take him away. It won't be long before he also becomes the captain of the national team. Most of those who constantly blame Vinicius Jr. are no longer Madrid fans. When will he learn that there's no point in saying such things to the referee, no matter if he disagrees with the referee's decision? If it can't be reviewed through VAR, then regardless, the decision can't be changed. It's not that hard to understand. Vinicius Jr. needs to stop all this nonsense and try to become a professional player. Vinicius Jr. really knows how to play football. There's no doubt about that. But he doesn't show wisdom, and that's what leads him to face negative comments. He needs to focus on the game. I've seen over 100 players do this. Why is Vinicius Jr. any different? It's normal for players to get angry when a decision doesn't go their way. Jude does this in almost every match, so I don't understand what's wrong if Vinicius Jr. does it. You know how it is. You do something once, get caught up in some scandal, and then it keeps coming back to you. I think Vinicius Jr. is in that kind of situation. He has that kind of image, unfortunately, and the referees know about it. I wish Vinicius Jr. would just calm down and play football, preferably do it in Madrid. What do you think about the latest news from Madrid? Please write in the comments. I'd love to read everything. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. You can find other videos on the channel here. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.